not just talking about the future, but building it face to face. We don't wait for permission. We don't grow alone. Every conversation matters. Every seed we've sown. This is elevate your growth, where the vision gets louder, where we rise together, and the move makes you stronger. Pull up the seat you belong.
Hello. Today we are going to be discussing how to validate before you scale and testing your ideas with confidence, because it is imperative that we make sure that the offers and the packages and the products that we're interested in bringing to the marketplace, people are interested in receiving them. Do they feel like it's going to be something that serves them? So what ends up happening a lot of times is people take things to the market before they're ready without actually testing the ideas with confidence. So we're going to talk about how you can avoid doing that in your business and in your profession. Okay. So step one, what we're going to do is just how we do in building out our personal and our professional brand. You want to make sure that you are applying the same method, the same ideology, the same practice and system to your offers. Okay. You want to define one clear problem. I help target audience solve core problems so they can achieve desired result. That does not just apply to our personal and our professional, our business brands. That also applies to each offer, each service, each aspect that we are bringing to the marketplace up under the umbrella of our brand. It has to have that clear definition. Okay. And if you can't clearly define the problem, your audience won't understand your value. And this is so imperative. You want to speak from the aspect of sowing into, of empowering, of helping the person that you are serving. Speak from the vantage point of them being the recipient of your offer, not coming from your perspective, but talking to them about how they can achieve the desired outcome by utilizing your product, your offer, your course, your business. Okay? Define one clear problem. That is step number one. Step number two is just how you had to identify your ideal target when you were assessing your business, when you were building your personal brand, when you're building your profile online because you want to attract certain job opportunities, when you are building your business profile online because you want to attract certain clients. You have to also identify the ideal audience specifically for what it is that you're offering the marketplace. So identity, who is this specifically for? You want to be crystal clear on who it is that you're serving, who this product will serve. Because a business can have several offers, several services up under the umbrella of their business that each are serving very different clienteles. So you want to identify specifically who it is that you're talking to with every single individual product offer that you have, service, okay? So the pain point. What challenge is keeping them up at night? What is the pain point? What's the aspect that they just cannot get past? Be able to speak to that pain point so that they understand that you're here to serve them. You're here to solve the problems in their life. Okay, the ecosystem. Where do they already spend their time? In order for us to serve the people that we want to serve, we have to be in proximity to them. We have to know where they go. We have to understand where is it they're spending their time so that you know how to market, promote, position yourself in those arenas so that you make sure that you come in contact with them. That's both in person and digitally. An aspiration. What result are they actively seeking? The clearer your audience, the easier it will become to validate your idea. So, your most viable offer, okay? This is your MVO. So, you want to look on the scale, your minimal viable offer, okay? You want to look on the scale and assess, is this offer operating in the high? Is this something that my audience wants? Is it something they need? Is it something they're solving a problem for? We're solving a problem for them. You have to assess on the scale where this offer falls. Really look at your offers, really look at your services, really look at what you already have so that you can assess what's doing best in the market in your industry. So maybe you have a parallel offer or a next step after that current offer that you have that's doing well. You have something else for the person to go into next. Let's say that you are a cleaner. You have a cleaning business. Okay? And you only do STRs, short-term rentals. And you have a client base of people that own investment properties, but they also own multiple personal properties, and they do a lot of traveling. They might be interested in a deep cleaning, which is very different from short-term rental cleans because they typically are fast turnaround, so they're set up for the next check-in. But if you are positioned with somebody who owns several properties, does a lot of traveling, they might be an ideal client for their personal properties to be deep cleaned every once in a while because dust is collecting because the house is just sitting there. They're not utilizing the home very much. There could be leaky faucets that then result in mold if the house is not being checked up on. They could be a candidate for your deep cleaning services. But first, you're going to want to talk to that person. You're going to want to talk to the people in your network that you're already serving to see if that is something that they are interested in before you spend time, effort, and energy building out an additional offer that no one's interested in utilizing. Okay? So that's why you want to ask before you build. Would this solve a challenge that you're experiencing? What would make this more valuable? What questions do you have? Would you invest in this or something like this? Listen more than you speak. That is the honest, the cleanest and sincerest way to best serve the people that come in contact with our businesses and our services and our offers is to make sure that we are listening and listening intently to what it is that they want. To see if the things that we're spending our time, effort, and energy on are even something that the marketplace is looking for. And I said this earlier, no, this is not about expressing your idea to a family member or someone close to you with no business acumen, only opinions, being a naysayer, or a friend being a naysayer. This is not what we're talking about. You should not base whether you launch something new off of the opinions of people that are not your target market. You need to speak to your target audience. Have these conversations with the person that you're actually interested in serving to see if this is going to be a good product or service or offer for them that you feel like would improve their life, would be something worth taking to the market. Okay, so those are very different things. A focus group versus a family member or a friend or some, these are two very different things. So here is what it looks like in terms of evidence. What people are actually saying. The numbers of conversations around this product or this offer. This is how you actually really measure validation. Are people talking about it after you're having the discussion about it? Are they talking about it prior, saying that this is something that they need? You want to make sure you're listening. Okay, survey responses. Sending out surveys, asking your client base, asking your team, asking the people around you, is this something that they would benefit from? Testimonials. Really looking at your testimonials. And engagement. Engagement online, but beyond the vanity metrics. We want actual feedback, not just likes and comments of no substance. We want to actually be speaking in terms of engagement where it leads to a conversation so that you can actually validate your offer. Okay? So behavioral evidence looks like this. What it is that the people are doing. If you position maybe a pre-launch campaign and you're getting a wave of registrations and sales and referrals and repeat participation, that is evidence that your offer, your product, your service is fit for the marketplace. It's evidence that it's going to do well. So you want to make sure that you're tracking evidence and not assumptions. These metrics, they provide a much clearer picture of demand than just opinions alone. So you want to evaluate the attitude and the behavioral evidence to let you know if this is something that the market's going to respond to. So you want to make sure you're refining before expanding. Review the feedback. Was there anything that confused people? What objections came up repeatedly? What worked and drove behavioral evidence? And then use this to then improve, refine the experience and clarify the messaging. Pivot if you need to. You want to adjust the offer or target a different audience. And then scale it. Expand, reach, and invest in resources. So you want to refine first and then scale second. So here's your validation engine, okay? So you're going to have your design phase first, where step one is you define the problem, you target your audience, you have your MVO, your minimal valuable offer. Excuse me. And then you're going to go through your test phase where you're really inquiring. Excuse me, my sarcoidosis is flaring up. I'm coughing. And then you want to refine. You want to use all that feedback that you have received in order to inform you of what it is that you need to do so that you can refine your offer and determine even if it needs to go to market or if it's just something that you're interested in doing that no one else is interested in receiving. Okay? So here's your action plan. The 7-day sprint. Day one, it looks like you're going to define your audience for your offer, for your service, for your new course, whatever it is that you're going to launch. You're going to define your audience, get crystal clear on who this product is serving. Day 2 and 3, you're going to create a simple version of your idea. Day 4 and 5, you're going to have 10 validation conversations. Conversations within your community, maybe already existing customers, to gain clarity on whether this is an offer they want. Day 6, you're going to collect feedback. And day 7, you're going to decide whether to improve, pivot, or scale it. And I'd like to add an additional one to that, or whether it even needs to go to market. And these 5 simple actions in the next 7 days, they will help you decide whether you need to invest your time, effort, and energy into the course, the service, the launch, the product, what it is that you have, if it needs to actually go to market. And this is how we go to market with confidence, by really assessing it from the place of the buyer and not so much what it is that we want. Because confidence, it doesn't come from hoping an idea will succeed. It comes from gathering evidence prior to going to the market with it. The strongest leaders amongst us, they don't just guess, they validate, learn, improve, and then scale with intention. And I want you to be among the strongest leaders. Not too long ago, this exact situation happened to me, where I was planning this huge trip to Bali for Elevate Your Growth in our community. And I was so excited about it because I was excited about going to Bali. And I had spent time and effort and resources towards planning this and evaluating what it is that we were going to do, planning the dinners and the trips and the villa and the elephants and the monkeys and all the things we were going to do. And then I had a conversation with someone in our community who talked about how she had used focus groups, and she talks to people as her community prior to launching something, which ironically is something I always typically had done. But for whatever reason, in this circumstance, I thought, who wouldn't want to go to Bali? It didn't even cross my mind to test it. So I said, yeah, let me take a step back. Let me assess it like we do everything else that we do and see if our members are even interested in going on a trip to Bali. So I put out a survey in our group, in our larger group on Facebook. And I had 4 places. It was Bali in the top, of course, because that's what I was most excited about. That's what I had been planning for us. And then I had Key West and Turks and Caicos maybe and another place. It was 4 places total. And overwhelmingly, Key West, Florida was the place that almost everyone that was interested in going chose. So, incidentally, you have to apply this method to everything, whether it's a trip, a service, a launch, whatever it is that you have going on in your ecosystem. It's imperative to test it first. Because if you're only looking at it through your own viewpoint, you're going to miss what it is that the people you serve actually want. Because in my viewpoint, I have no issue taking one 10-hour flight and then taking another, 12 to 14-hour flight and, 24 hours in flights to get there because I'm thinking about the experience. However, the rest of the people in my community that I would actually be serving this trip for, and enjoying this retreat said, I want to be on a flight a couple hours. They had no interest in that flight time and that kind of investment in just the travel time. So yeah, you have to apply it to every aspect of your offers. Always have a focus group. Always make sure to ask the people that you're serving if this is something that they'll be interested in, to make sure that it's something that you don't waste your time, effort, energy, and resources in building, and then come to find out no one actually wants it. Okay. So this is going to be up for 48 hours. So if you want to watch it back and take some screenshots or implement this in the way that best serves you, it's going to be up for 48 hours. And then it's going into our Leadership Lab vault where our Elite Inner Circle and our Legacy Leadership members can access it whenever they want to really dig deep and really understand and execute, implement on how to properly test with confidence before you bring something to the market. Okay, so does anyone have any questions that I could answer? No questions coming in from Facebook. Very good. Very good. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But yes, if you're not in our Elevate Your Growth community, our hub is on Facebook, Elevate Your Growth. If you're interested in participating in one of our in-person socials, you can just comment up under this video socials. You're somebody, we're not for everybody, okay? We are for people that are interested in building relationships first and leading with value. We're not just a place where people come and exchange business cards and never talk to each other again. We're not transactional. We believe in building relationships and letting those relationships naturally grow into opportunities, collaborations, and hiring and exchange of commerce if it's going to. Because, of course, we all know for people to do business with each other, you have to know, like, and trust that person. So our monthly get-togethers, we are hosting them at the moment in Charleston, South Carolina, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and in Denver, Colorado. We have the most fantastic team. And yes, if you're interested in getting in a room with business owners and professionals and executives and board members and nonprofits, if this is your room, you've been looking for your people, yeah, just comment socials below and I will send you a request for an invitation, because our rooms are curated. So we make sure that we're not oversaturating any specific industry, breeding a place for competition, because we believe that collaboration over competition is where the most opportunity for growth lies. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience as I was fully choking in the middle of my presentation. But as many of you know, or if you don't know, I have a lung condition that's called pulmonary sarcoidosis. So from time to time, I get those bouts. But I love you, and I hope you learned something today. And I'm here if you have any questions. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your day and your weekend. And I will see you right here next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we continue our leadership and business training. Bye.